Hey guys, better strategy here. I'm just doing a recording. Someone on the channel was interested in seeing what I thought about the other side of like I had just done a how-to for Halsey, but this other guy was actually interested, and you know, I reached out to him and I had told him he was interested in a tutorial video, but I'm giving it a go to see if this recording's good. We're gonna be just watching an 8OS play. He loses to Halsey, but I'm gonna just criticize his build and see, how things went. So just gonna get this started. All right, so what we have here is Halsey was the original one, and over here is Banbo, who has not. Okay, so let me pause for a second here. So let's just take a look here at what's going on here. All right, let's just hit pause for 1 second. All right, I'm just setting the camera up right. So far, so good. He has not walked, at least I didn't look at the very beginning, but it looks like he started making these two mechs. I'm assuming you started in a spot to do both of those mechs, which is fine. We're gonna unpause for a second, and I just want to comment. So usually when I open, and you don't have to do it this way, but generally I do mechs, and then a single wind, because I tend to be a little, you can sometimes e-stall. So especially when you're doing like the wind gift strategy. So I like to go like two mechs and then throw down a wind before walking to this mechs. That way it makes me less likely to e-stall if wind doesn't go pretty high. So mechs, throw down a wind. I actually like to make the wind somewhere here, and then third mechs, and then another mech. After this mechs, we do another wind, something like here, and then a wind like here, and then walk, have the comm do like a little move command. So like here, because the comm's going to be standing about here when it does this stuff. So maybe move the comm over here, and then put the LLT right here. That way you have an LLT that can protect the three mexes and from like the inevitable leak. It doesn't always happen, but if you get leaked on, that LLT is game changing. So I just call it the tax. We make the LLT. If you really want, you can always like reclaim it later, but generally it's 85. It's cheaper than a C radar. C radar is overcosted. I don't actually know why C radar is so expensive, but dude, land radar 60, sea radar is like 150, which is insane. So just the LLTs, just make the LLT. All right. So anyways, that's my first note for Banbo. Also, I've noticed he hasn't queued up well, no, that's fine. I don't, sometimes you don't know where to put the win, so that's fine. Banbo, so if you saw like that's what I would do as far as the opener. It's a little change, but it makes it so that LLT can kind of protect the mexes, and it's hard for the ticks to hide behind the wind. But we're gonna just keep watching the opener. So far, everything's pretty standard. That's just my little opener difference. So he's not stalling, and somebody gave him some energy. I don't know why nutrition gave him some energy, but maybe concerned about him stalling. Either way, he's not really behind or anything right now, so everything's fine. Team's probably concerned just because of, the low OS. I will say, like, let's just take another pause here. Banbo, if you noticed, your comm is going to be walking, I guess, this way. And if you, like, he's going to have to go around the wind. So I would have, even if you weren't doing that original formation I showed you, like, if the wind was here instead, you don't have it block your commander's walk path. So I mean, that's a micro change, like that's like not much. That's like less like a second. It's not a huge deal, but just minor optimization. See, your commander's kind of taking a little bit of a stroll before going there. I think a little south is closer, but dude, who knows? Like maybe that's as close. So I mean, that's really okay. Let's just find out. Let's find out, where can this lab go? Okay, definitely closer than that. You could put a lab here. I would have probably like lab here, all the other stuff is in the same spot, but lab goes here. Banbo, again, this is not gonna make a huge difference, but just like, you know, your comms walking here, think about the distance here. We got so imagine this is like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's about the same distance. Yeah, it's not. I'm nitpicking at that point. It's not a big deal. Okay, let's just take a moment though. We did not buy a rescon from this guy, and you're overflowing. So one change is you should always buy rescon from your geo player. So basically, like when you spawn, you just do like this. You'd say rescon 220 metal. And what you do is when you finish this third max and your wins here, and then your LLT, before, like, usually this guy has room for you to pay him, and then you just drag over here, and there's like a little metal slider, and you just give him the 220 metal. So you would do that. Another thing is I like to go scout at the start of the match, scout and light trans like that, and you pay him the like 3 win for that. Actually, no, sorry. Oh, mistake. That's a mistake. I meant you don't do that. You do okay, so okay, Banbo, if you're uncomfortable with commander flying, so like this is kind of where you have to decide what you want to try to do. So like if you want to try, like, you know, you want to beat 20 OS players or people that are like your OS, then you're going to do like try to play like me, and you're going to be like scout and heavy trans, and then you'll pay them 3 wind. You even say like 3 wind like that. You'll right at this point here, or even a little sooner when your commander's about here, you'll just select these, and then you'll share them to this guy with the little share button, and now you've got a scout and heavy. Or if you want, you don't have to do that, and you could also pay just 1 wind. You could just say scout for 1 wind, but you need that scout. Like the scout, if you don't do any of the transport stuff, you need that scout, because that scout is telling you what the heck is going on, and that's huge. So having that scout is tremendous. So you don't have a scout, you didn't buy a rescon, so that's setting you back a lot of time. So let's just see. I mean, you can still play the game like this. It's just you're playing with a handicap, and you know that's gonna make other things go poorly for you, which is gonna make you have a bad experience, which is gonna give you like a bunch of, it's gonna cascade. You're gonna have one bad experience, you're gonna have another bad experience, and they're just gonna keep happening. So like you're gonna lose, and then you're gonna be nervous about attacking because you lost, and then you're gonna be nervous attacking again because you lost, and this can all be negated by that one scout. Because when you have that scout, like let's think about it. You've shared these wins. You're walking, so probably by now the scouts like either just being built. See, this guy's building his lab, but he didn't get shared any wins, so he would have probably. Maybe not yet. I think the scout at around 2 minutes you get a scout. But anyways, let's just keep going through the game. So right now, I like that you've built this wind. You normally would have shared the wind by now. You're using the wind to power the lab, which is fine. You're a little faster to completing the lab. We are Armada, which is not a good beginner, you know, race, but that's okay. And let's just see. Okay, no. See, okay, here we go. This is another thing. So like, look at this cost. This is 130 metal. Very expensive. A lot of energy as well. 1000 energy. It's okay. Like, it's giving you vision around your lab, but like, what is that doing for you? I want you to just look at the other side of the map. Like, a lot of the optimization in this game is understanding what your opponent can do and like what you're looking out for. So it's 153. Even a perfect C player is not in the water at 130. So by building this radar before you're building infrastructure, you're delaying your infrastructure, which is causing a compounding effect. So that's why, you know, you basically, I mean, let's say you don't have these 3 wins. Like, you're going to need some energy. You're going to have some more titles, but this here is not doing you much good. I'd rather have a scout, you know, from this guy. And this is something you don't have to feel bad about. If I'm even even if like I'm a 35 OS player or even a 50 OS player, if my 9 OS C player says wind for scout, I'm doing it. I'm happy that my C player's trying, and I'm not gonna be like, oh, bad player, here's a scout. Oh man, I have to build a scout for this bad player. He's just gonna lose anyways. I'm like, okay, he's trying. Let's give him a scout. Maybe it'll do something. I mean, not everyone's always as optimistic, but just that's how I am. So just, you know, keep that in mind. Let's just continue along this path. So I wouldn't be building this radar. I'd be boosting the lab to get this con out, but I wouldn't even have built this con first. So again, okay, sorry, I didn't even notice they were making a con first. So okay, you've got a whole queue set up. I don't know what this queue is, but generally, just I would recommend lab and then building titles, you know, as energy is needed. So for me, my build order is I come over here, I make 2 titles, I make lab, I make 3 more titles, so I go up to a total of 5 titles. So I have 5 little titles. Sorry, let me just try to draw that nicely. So we have like 5 titles and some sort of thing. Maybe you leave a hole here because you want the comm to be able to fit between the titles. If you need to walk through, like, see, like you got to go here. This title is gonna block your comms path, so you might want to leave a little gap so the comm can actually walk through the titles to get to the other side of the lab. Even though if you go heavy transport, that's not necessary. It's just a optimization. At some point, if you're overflowing energy, you could throw down a single converter. I mean, it could be worth it. Also, that resbot. Oh wait, did we get a resbot? Yeah, see, this is really bad because your comm is wasting time. That's why we're paying the 220 metal to this guy for that resbot, because he's already got it. It's so much, like, this is a low investment and your commander's so much build power. You get this little resbot from him. It eats this, it eats that, it eats that, and then it does a big circle to eat the trees. So you get this resbot, you tell it eat this, eat that, eat those trees, like that. And that saves you time. Time is what's important about C. The first 2 things this building makes is like 2 skaters, and then you make 2 conships, and then we make like maybe a 3rd skater. Alternatively, if you're core, you start out making 2 herrings and then 2 conships, and then like what I generally like is frigate, destroyer, resboat on repeat. Frigate, destroyer, resboat on repeat. Maybe throw in a herring or 2 as that mixes. But that's, yeah, I kind of, it's going to be hard to tell you exactly what to do as this continues to devolve, because now we're so different than the optimal build. But I'm going to keep going. Like, I just wanted you to kind of understand the opener first. I don't know how I can really help as the optimal build goes, but we'll just keep watching, and I'll just keep commenting. It'll probably fall apart in a little bit. Actually, I know what happens you in this game, so you actually have some more chances to win, but it's just like lack of scouting type of problems. So yeah, see, I like a little gap so comm walks faster forward. But I mean, that's a mini optimization. I like to have 5 titles, but 4 titles is, you know, fine because you have all these extra wins compared to what I would have because you didn't buy the stuff from air. So we're entering a weird scenario. You should you kind of should boost the lab until your energy starts decreasing. So like I would have been boosting the lab now, and this right here is really bad. What you're doing now is actually quite bad because you have 264 metal in the bank, and your comm's gonna walk away from this, and you don't have extra build power. So I'm gonna predict right now that you are gonna have a bunch of metal in the bank very soon because this lab is not gonna be able to spend the metal you have. But we'll find out. So see, you're eating that, you're gaining some more metal, but like this lab can't spin the metal as fast as you're gaining it. So you're gonna have a bunch of metal in the bank. If you had a single boat here just boosting the lab, you'd probably be okay. But because you don't, you're gonna start like getting a little extra metal, especially if these maxes are built. And also, this is too defensive, and this is another, you know, thing that happens with like kind of new players, and I know we're like just inexperienced at this position, but What you're doing here, you're just so defensive. And I know you're trying not to instant lose, but this is going to set you, you're just setting yourself up for failure. Because like, let me just talk about something here. Well, Halsey did rush this out, so even if you had rushed this skater, you probably wouldn't have caught this spot. This is kind of the thing about the skater here, like, you get the skater here, and it can prevent some stuff. It can prevent the comm from flying over, and then you could potentially like have a light or medium light transport to drop a pawn or something on the island to contest it, because he can't get a commander here. So if you send the little skater here, you can kind of have a skater chilling, and then you can fly like a pawn over or a res bot to eat that. But I mean, that's kind of maybe not too hard, too much to worry about, because yeah, maybe trying to get the island is a little advanced for right now. You're just trying to do more basic C. So as far as basic C goes, like, let's just say that we're going to avoid flying transports to the island and stuff like that. You can try to guard the island with a skater, and let's say you had opened more efficiently, you might have gotten a skater. I mean, that's pretty good. Okay, timing for the skater. I mean, you skip that. I mean, you probably could get the skater a little faster, but I think, yeah, it's kind of hard to beat that. So this is kind of okay. I mean, and you have a radar. It's not though, like, your position right now, other than the things you're about to build, which are a little bit OCD, is pretty good. I don't like too many radars, because the radars are 130 metal. That's just gonna be a fortune. 130. And then you got 170. So that's like some frigates you don't have that can't be used here to threaten. So that's why you're a little behind. You're spending a lot of money on stuff that isn't doing anything. See, this guy came here, and I just want you to look, like, he came here with a bot and he built an anti-air. But what if you just, like, you kind of have this, a commander's not there. If you just send a bot over, what can we do? What can we do to get him? Like, this thing here, the first skater, if he just rushes over here and then just kind of does like a little patrol like this, it's pretty good. And this skater here goes like here. Actually, I like to get the skater on like a little patrol like this. And I don't know if you know this, but skaters have radar. And so this radar is really good. So if you get the skater, you can actually have the skater hang out here and do a little patrol. And it actually can see, I think when it gets that close, it can see that he's doing stuff. So the skater is really good for that. It gives you like a little vision. You can also kind of send this, like, the skater shouldn't be chilling here. It should be on this little patrol route, like something like this, like just something like that. Okay, and now let's look though. Like, we're at 413. That's not, like, you have frigates. Like, your build, I don't like all this extra stuff you're doing. However, it's not hurting you yet, because you've already got, see, this comm is wasting time. I mean, your build's not hurting you that much, because like, you have 3 frigates at 4. It's kind of okay. Your comm could have been boosting the lab. And is this guy going to come back to boost the lab? I think you're going to fill up metal in the bank, but that's weird. But this comm could be doing something more useful. The comm could be flying over to island. Even though he built AA there, you can land right here. You do have to protect him, and you can get sniped by air. But you know what? It might happen to you a couple times, and that's fine. Don't sweat it too much. If your comm gets sniped because you're trying to win the game, who cares? Like, you're trying to win the game, right? You got to be less afraid of getting completely destroyed, because right now you got kind of destroyed by this guy, and you actually had chances to beat him. So you just gotta, like, maybe not be so defense oriented. I'm gonna keep going. Yeah. So right now like, okay, I gotta say something else. So look here. Let me turn on player view for a second. So right now, even though we didn't do the scout thing, like, you have great information. Like, you have a scout all the way here and all the way here. And you don't know what's going on the island. That's fine. Like, we don't know what's going on the island. However, we know that there's nothing going on here, and probably okay, this you're missing out on all the information. Probably you were scared to send this forward because you didn't want to lose it. And so we're missing out on all this information. But like right now, let's say this guy was here, chill, he's over here doing that, you would know exactly what's going on, and you can move these frigate. These frigates don't need to be defending your base. These frigates need to be like, what did I do? What did I do? I don't know what I did. Okay, but these frigates need to be deployed. Usually I take this and okay, you've got a decent rally point. That's fine. I like to actually have the rally point even like here, but you do need to remember to move it because if things go poorly and you forget that rally point, you'll lose a lot of your boats. But I like the rally point to be like somewhere like here, or even just depends like here. But I want my boats here. I want them ready to take action because right now, if this guy comes in the water and your boats are here, you're gonna catch him. So you want your boats in an aggressive positioning. Also, this guy here, like, I mean, this is hindsight. Like right now, you're building all these defenses. What if you built another frigate instead or a destroyer? Because you know what stops you is a little sub coming out of that lab and messing up your day. So you're gonna need a destroyer because if a single destroyer will mess you up completely. I mean, right now you're building a bunch of this, and I know why, because a sub comes in, it just wrecks your day.
Commander,
I'm gonna tell you though, what you're doing. You have this here. You know what I do? I sometimes take my sub and I go like this. You can do that, or you can take a sub and go like this. And you're not even covered. You're not even covered by that. That little torpedo launcher doesn't even cover that. Sub can slip right past and hit your stuff anyways. I actually have started putting a torpedo launcher here. Like if you're really afraid.
Commander, self-destructed.
Wow, okay, that's some stuff going on. Like let's say you're really afraid. At some point, I do like a single torpedo launcher right here, or like somewhere here or here, like not in the trajectory where the boats come out, but like offside. And that actually I do it here because you want to protect these. That protects your lab from that sneaky sub that just comes in and you don't have enough metal for the destroyer and you lose everything. So I'm fine with a single like little torpedo launcher to protect this lab and your little titles. And yeah, and then we just maybe forget about this one. You can probably, this one's kind of okay. I mean, one here is kind of okay, but you know, right now he's not even in the water yet. So torpedo launchers are something you can always build once you see him getting in the water. But like you got 1500 metal and frigates. They should be here. They can be attacking the beach if he's not in the water. Like you could take these frigates and go here and you could attack the beach. You could also, do you see it? Let's see if you see it. Player view. All right, let's take a look. You see it. He's in the water now. Like this guy has pretty good radar. Wow. How good is the radar? I don't know what at the 1,000 distances. Air line of sight is 750, 800. I think these are the line of sight circles. I think the radar is actually bigger. I wish this had a radar circle. It's kind of stupid it doesn't have a radar circle. What does 1,000 look like? Let's see, what is this? This is 2,000. Yeah, I don't think... Anyways, just the radar circle might be a little bigger, and I don't know what that looks like, but this guy gives you a lot of vision. All right, and let's... Oh, I like this. Okay, so I do like that this guy's on patrol. I like that. This guy should be patrolling. And also, these are skeeters, which are stealth. They're stealthy. They're really useful because they can't be shot and spotted with radar. So the stealth is really big for those boats. But these guys here, imagine if they're here. Imagine what you could do if they're here. Let's turn off player view. You just kill him. He's building that. Who cares? Just go up here, kill the lab, and run away. You also have no res boats. You need res boats in your queue. Res boats are the most valuable boat. You're building subs. Subs aren't going to do anything to this guy with this lab. I mean, subs are really hard to attack with. Maybe you can hit him with subs, but he's got torpedo launchers. So if you attack that with subs, you got torpedo launchers shooting back. I don't know. I don't like the subs. They're kind of good for attacking like, or for defending. They're kind of good for defending against frigates and maybe doing some sneaky, like, you know, you want to like kill these mexes. Like the sub's pretty decent for just trying to sneak around and snipe mexes. Like you can have a sub shoot the mex, come back here, shoot the mex, shoot the mex. But like there could be a destroyer just picks it off for free. So sub's not the worst pick, but yeah, the sub is, I don't know. I'm not sold on the subs. They're only kind of good for anti-sub on the beach side, which is possibly okay. But you got these torpedo launchers as well. Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing you're doing wrong right now is you're investing heavily in frigates and you're not using them. You've spent 2,000 in frigates. Let me just kind of do a quick little math here. 2,000 divided by, let me just see. Let's just say 300. That's like a, I think it's about 260. So I'm gonna do a generous estimate of 300 divided by 300. Yeah, so like this right here is 6 metal per second worth of economy doing nothing. So if you hadn't have built frigates and you had built just eco, like pure eco, like wind and converter, you'd have 6 metal per second with all of the metal invested in this. So this needs to do work. This either needs to protect you
Commander
or attack stuff. It just can't be sitting there. It either has to, they've invested equal amounts, or, but if you've got an army sitting there doing nothing, this guy's winning. Let me just turn on player view one more time. So you know what's going on. So like now he's coming in the water. He's got a sub. That's annoying. It's still not over. You could still win right now by diving. Not even diving, just you go here. It's kind of hard now because he's got one sub. He's got one sub. It's too risky to dive. But we're just kind of stalling. So right now you're kind of in a bad spot. What is this guy doing? Oh, that's cute. Okay, that's kind of cute. I approve of like cute play like that. Like that right there, I'm okay with. I'm okay with you trying that. Where's your commander? This is not good. Okay. Okay, right here. This, your commander should not be AFK. This is why you're behind, because your commander is a very expensive, powerful, versatile unit, and it's sitting there doing nothing. If you were not doing the island play, your commander should be walking, like, your commander should be walking with your fleet, because he can reclaim and repair, and he's just a lot of battle power in the water. So he either needs to be boosting the lab with his build power, which he has 300 of, or he needs to be walking towards the enemy. It's just sitting here. This is just a disadvantage. The other guy's gonna get way ahead of you because you're wasting a commander, not using the commander. All right. Yeah, I mean, okay, so yeah, this here, that's fine. You could put the skater here to start shooting, sniping some fighters. Like right now, it's like you've got the subs, which are actually not the worst thing right now because there's an enemy sub. You've spent a lot of metal just on this. This is 500 metal. That's another metal per second worth of metal. Let me just compare something here quickly too as well. So right now, Halsey is at 19 metal per second and you are at 18 metal per, wow, really? Is there some sort of 18 and metal, and Halsey is at 19? That doesn't make sense. It's because he's e-stalling. He's actually higher than 19. It's just some of his mexes are not on. They aren't on. That's why he's behind. That's it. They're not on. Let's just wait till the wind comes back up. He's e-stalling and he's boosting a lab or something.
Self-destructed.
Okay, let's wait till the energy kind of stabilizes here. Yeah, he's at like 25 metal per second. That's what I was trying to show. He's way ahead of you in metal because you're at 18. He's at 25. He's got the island. He's what is that? 18, 25, 19, 20. So 7 more metal per second than you. But what did I tell you here? This is like 6 metal per second worth of boat. Of course, now he's got that, but he's had compound interest. Also, like this Mex is not taken. We're building a bunch of pork here. This isn't going to do much value. Like, yeah, I mean, it's okay, but it's probably not going to work. This probably isn't going to work in your favor. Because building pork generally doesn't work in Navy. Pork is kind of weak in Navy. The only reason you build pork in Navy is you don't want to guard something, and you've got you're fighting him somewhere else. So like you could, in theory, build build like that next to the build one of these here, and then build the mechs, and like, you know, you let that be, and you're fighting elsewhere, or you're using that as sanctuary retreat too. That's okay. I don't see the value in it here because it's not even protecting that mech spot. So it's just kind of okay. Not that great. This right here is coming over. It's probably gonna give you a bad time. And I mean you've got this now, so we'll just play it as it is, even though I wouldn't have built this. I guess the sub's probably gonna get stopped by that. Yeah, so like you got that going. Are you building one here yet? No. Commander needs to be, yeah, imagine your commander's here and you have these boats. So like Halsey kind of had a weak opener. Imagine like your commander, it could be here by now. Imagine your commander is just walking at them, right? What's he got? Okay, well he's got torpedo launchers, but you got boats. What if your boats are shooting his boats and your commander's repairing your boats? Yeah, maybe you're overpowering them. If it doesn't work, maybe you're retreating and you're still repairing. You know, you could be in a situation where his boats are your boats are taking more damage than his boats, but it doesn't matter because you got more repair power because you got a commander there. Also, again, you really need res boats in your mix. I would throw away this build order. I mean, or you can keep this doing a build order, but like you need to, even if you're manually clicking it, I would be doing like frigate, destroyer, frigate, destroyer, skater, frigate, destroyer, frigate, destroyer, grim reaper, frigate, destroyer, skater, grim reaper. Like you want to have grim reapers. You want like 1/3 of your boats should be res subs. Maybe is that too many? I don't. At least 1/4 of your boats should be res subs, and I think 1/3 is actually a good number. You have 9 boats and 3 res subs. Yeah, that's a good sounding mix right there. So about 1/3, every like third boat you make is a res sub, because that repairs your boats, and if your boats are healthy, they keep fighting and you win battles. It might be a lot to micro, but you're gonna just get grinded to death if you don't do that. Right now, I don't know if you could dive. I think you could still have dived and taken the lab out. Like, and when I say dive, I don't actually mean you run to the wall. If you just put your boats here, like you fight his boat, you just jammed all your boats right outside of the torpedo launcher range and just shoot this. You get a little skater with your army for radar vision. You could just siege him from here, and these can't shoot back. So you just put the boats at max range. They shoot the lab. You force a fight here. I mean, there you go. You probably still win this. It's a risky play, but you know what happens when you don't. You know what happens when you don't. So that's why I recommend, you know, you kind of think about that. Also like, so yeah, so people probably won't give you T2. It's kind of what it is. You know, you start playing C better, people will start giving you free T2s. I know it's like a chicken or the egg thing, but that's just part of the game. But dude, this here is sitting, like this guy is still sitting here. He could be making a mechs, and you put a mechs here. Now you got an extra 2 metal per second for free. That's huge. They're just like, this right here should be making a little mechs. I hope you're using at least, I don't use all the hotkeys, Banbo, but I at least use the Z hotkey for mexes. Like, it's only, you can do Z for a mex, X for a, what does X do? I don't actually know what X does. What the heck does X do? X just makes a harpoon like that. Yeah, so X, that makes a radar. That's pretty useful. And then that makes a lab. And then if you do VA, that makes a turret, so that can save you some micro. Some clicking around. Yeah, I mean, right now it's gonna snowball. So let's just switch to, so like right now, this is just, he's established himself. Things aren't looking good. By the way, he hasn't been playing too well either. He didn't take his rocks here. He was late in the water. These guys are AFK. So like, there's gonna, even if you don't play perfectly, the other guy's not always playing perfectly either. Like you have a better, you have, okay, you have 3,600 in Navy. He has 2,900. He's starting to shift the tides. But here's the thing. He's got pork. Okay. He's got these. Okay, maybe you can't kill his lab. That's fine. I can't kill his lab. You know what you could do? You just take your little Navy here. You just swim on right over here. You just shoot some shots, trade with his Navy. You know, your little destroyer. You don't have a destroyer. That's fine. A little sub. One of your subs just pops that max. You go over here. Your little sub pops that max. Your little fleet does a little U-turn here. So it goes like that. You just kill these little tidal generators for free. And you run out here. You come back. You repair. You probably didn't lose a single boat doing that, and you just destroyed at least one of his boat. You popped his 2 mexes. He'll rebuild them, but he's gonna be spending time to do that. That's a little, you know, you don't always get to do that play, but you gotta, like, that's why we were poking. That's why, like, it's recommended to, like, kind of go up and then get ready to run away. Like, here's the thing about Navy. If you're watching your boats and you're going towards his boats and all of a sudden you see he has more boats than you get to run away and he can't chase you, because in Navy, if he chases you, and even if you have less boats, as long as you have a comparable force of boats to his boats, your boats will win that fight. So he can never he can't just perma chase you and kill you, because you'll be running away. And as long as you have, like, let's say you have 5 boats and he has 7 or 8 boats, your 5 boats will beat his 7 or 8 boats as long as they're running away and have a good enough head start. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird. You're gonna have to learn that dance. Basically, if you're turning, you kind of like drive your boats towards them, and then as you start shooting, you start turning away and you run away, and that's how, like, you don't take damage. Oops. Okay, let's just oh, oops. Let me just unpause here. All right, we're gonna just keep seeing what happens here. I'm gonna turn on your camera and just see what you're doing here. Oh goodness, that's the wrong player. Wait, oh, here, he got whoa, I didn't even see that. Okay, so Banbo, did you notice that? Like, you built this here, and he just slipped right past, like I said he could, and he's in your base here. Now imagine if instead of this, I mean, this is good, it protects your mechs from dying, but imagine you have a little offshore launcher here. Now he can't mess with you, you know? Now you've got a frigate coming out. That's not going to help against this guy. I bet he does a lot of damage. I was going to check what your camera's doing. Player view. I just wanted to see what your camera's looking at. Oh, you're looking at here. Okay, that's fine. You're probably trying to get a T2. Right now your base is under attack. Yeah. Oh, I mean, are you going to stop this guy? Okay, so you can reclaim it. You can try to reclaim it. Or you can make a thing, or what are we doing? Okay, you're worried about that. All right, you're still got a little sub in your base. Like, the sub is probably causing a lot of damage. You could maybe eat the sub. Luckily, your stuff is somewhat tanking for it, but you could run the comm towards the sub. Yeah, the comm could potentially push the sub away. So you actually have a comm here. You can push the sub away. You can make an offshore torpedo launcher. But right now you're not doing much. Let's just see how this plays out. So you've got a sub in the base. You're bringing more boats forward, but the sub's doing a lot of damage. You are having a really bad time. You could be reclaiming the sub at the very least. We need to be... Oh, dude, it was probably me that said leaf ping next time. Yeah, sorry, Banbo. Sorry, man. Oh, look, you are doing the right thing here, though. Yeah, sorry, Banbo, man. Dude, but you are doing the right thing here. Why is your comm not shooting that? Oh my gosh. Okay, what's happening here is your comm is probably, like, too high out of the water that the laser can't shoot it. I don't understand why he's not shooting the sub. Your comm... Maybe your comm's not deep enough in the water to shoot. This is a weird nuance. But you were doing good with the comm. It was shooting the sub. I think the problem is you took your comm out of the deep water. So now you have the option. You can walk the comm to the shore and then fire a D gun like that. or you got to get him deeper so you can keep poking the sub. But or you can even reclaim the sub while you're shooting it. But anyways, yeah. So this is, yeah. Com's not shooting because he's too shallow. That's super frustrating. Yeah, that's super frustrating. It's not really. That's annoying. I mean, I would be pissed. I wouldn't even have thought of that being a problem. So you're just losing a lot of stuff. Yeah, this is really painful. I would be super annoyed because that one sub's just giving you a bad time. I probably didn't notice you. Sorry about the not giving you the T2, my friend. I was worried about other stuff. Okay, so we're worried about the sub. Okay, see that sniped the sub. We got to look at it front. You got to always keep an eye. This thing is still not a T2 max. There's no, oh, by the way, Banbo, like, you have no radar up here. If you had a radar, if you're gonna build all this pork, you might as well build a radar here, because then it'll give you like a nice see it coming. I know you were dealing with a sub, so that's kind of rough. Like here, he's just gonna come in and he's watching that ball of units. Let's see what you're watching. Yeah, you're watching your base, you're rebuilding, which I understand. You lost everything to a sub. So I get why you're rebuilding. Imagine you're microing this ball. You're lucky he doesn't. Yeah, you're still rebuilding. Oh, you're upgrading your mexes. Yeah, I mean that's kind of, you're losing boats, but you're lucky he pulled back here. He could have killed you if he had kept attacking you. He's pulling his boats back for the wrong reason. I actually criticized him for it if you remember the other video. But like, I don't know why this mex isn't taken. That's killing me. And these boats, you are kind of reacting. You're outgunned now, so you're not winning C. You might as well pull your fleet back here and say I'm losing C. But like right now, this is, yeah, this is bad. This might as well just be back here. You might as well just pull your whole fleet back, because you're not going to beat that fleet. He's got too many boats. I mean, actually, no, I'm not correct. You could leave the boats here because these boats actually, you need them here so when he attacks you, you can run away. And yeah, your only way to stop him now is to leave the boats here, and then every time he attacks you, perfectly run away and shoot at him as you're getting attacked. So like, you literally have to just be driving these boats in a little circle over and over and over again and not ever blink, because if you blink, he's just gonna instant kill you, which kind of stinks. It's really annoying. It takes a lot of micro. I mean, you're getting energy. You actually had more. You had a good little eco going. You probably overbuilt those in the first place, and yeah, now you got the title. Like this here could have been good before you lost all your stuff, but that's okay. Either way, like you have not very much anti-sub. Okay, he's coming for you now. Yeah, see, and also these are gonna just die for free because they can't run away. So that's the problem with this, is it's not doing anything. Like, what have these, like, I want you to think about what has these harpoons done for you. They haven't done anything really. You spent metal to make them. They can't run away, so they're just getting sniped right now because you had to run away with the fleet. He can't even attack. Like, you got, yeah, he's got, wait, less in boats than you, 5'3", and you're at 5'5". Huh, that's weird. I guess you actually have a bigger fleet than him right now. We'll see what goes on here, but he's got better eco than you. He's upgrading his mechs. He's gonna be way ahead of you soon. Like, okay, so you actually, no, you lost that trade. See, he's got res boats, which is good. Yeah, I don't know. So like, so Banbo, I don't actually need to play the game too much more, because at this point, you weren't able to pressure Halsey enough, and Halsey's had free reign. So like, even though you didn't lose C by this point, you've already lost. You're already going to inevitably lose because of just how this has turned out. So yeah, I mean, you are kind of doing an okay thing here because you're getting your eco going pretty fast. Imagine if you had bought a res con from this guy though, like you could have the con build a nano here and then support this, and then your com still in the water doing its stuff, so you'd still be just as fast. Yeah, that's just kind of what's going on there. Yeah, I think it's over though. Like he's got, He's got such elite. Let's compare. Like he's at 5,000. He's at 700 energy, 60 metal. You're at 31 metal, 300 energy. He's literally got double your economy. It's just a matter of time now. He's still growing. He's still growing. So like that's the thing. You have to, when you play this side, you have to create some pressure, which you weren't able to do. And so this guy is just, he's just having the time of his life. He's just relaxing, and you know, he's got boats. He's not worried about you killing him. He's playing with you like a cat toying with the mouse. Even if you kill his entire fleet, like maybe you win by killing his entire fleet and then reclaiming it or resing it, but you don't have res boats, so you're not going to do that. You don't have res boats in your queue. You have to have res boats in your queue. He's probably going to kill you with these subs. I mean, if I recall, he killed you with these subs. I'm just going to speed it up because this is just kind of inevitability now. Dude, you have a lot of boats, but I mean, your only hope would be to catch him off guard. Like your boats are AFK, so if your boats were like trying to skirt for a position, you might do something, but like you can't just, yeah, your boats are just chilling. You're just making a ball of boats here. Also, if this guy had a nuke bomber, like if the air player just comes in with a lich, your entire navy's gone in one shot. So you could just lose to a lich with this ball of navy like that. It's just no AA, and a lich could kill you too. So you're getting more and more ways to die. It's cool that you're spamming. I mean, it's cool that you have a lot of boats, but they're just kind of sitting there AFK. The other guy's more eco. Bad stuff's about to happen, and let's just watch. Okay, so let's see what goes on here. Oh, look, some subs are... Dude, that's actually pretty dirty. Yeah, he's just coming at you with 4 subs, which can overpower a single torp. That's super dirty. So yeah, I mean, this is actually okay. I like that you dive the battleship. You're gonna lose your whole fleet though, but I mean, you're gonna lose it anyways. If you have some subs here, you take out his you're in such a bad spot. Oh, you got the destroyer, but yeah, he got, oh, that's super annoying. That's why I like, okay, Banbo, that's another reason why we like to not build eco in the water. If we had a nano here and we were just building some cool little wind turbines safely away from the water, we don't keep losing all of our economy to little annoying raids that this guy's doing. But I mean, now it's over. The match is over. We'll just, yeah, you're just gonna get cleaned up here. Boom, 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 boom. He's got 1,000 times more metal than you. He's coming in, and he's just gonna, I mean, this is just where the game's over. 60 metal. Yeah, it's just over. All right, well, there you go. I hope you found that. Let's just pause it here. I hope you find this helpful. I'm gonna post this for you. It'll be like, maybe I'll post this on the YouTube, and I hope you got some help from this. Take care. In recording now. Can I actually do a comparison? It's not even worth it. I think you get the idea of it. All right. Yeah, take care, man. And everyone, I hope you enjoyed the content.